TIL about the bannister effect. When a barrier previously thought to be unachievable is broken, a mental shift happens enabling many others to break past it, named after the man who broke the 4-minute mile. I remember seeing something where Tony Hawk was talking about what led up to him finally pulling off the first 900 and how momentous and mind-blowing it was when it finally happened, and now he sees 13-year-olds pulling 900s in the park while he's driving down the road. I grew up in a small town. We had a 12-lane bowling alley. It had been open for 25 years or so and no one had ever gotten a 300 game. Then this 21-year-old guy named Joey Wright did. They put his name on the wall. Within a year there were 8 more names on that wall. When Joey did it, people realized it was possible and made it happen. But magic is never as simple as people think. It has to obey certain universal laws. And one is that, no matter how hard a thing is to do, once it has been done it'll become a whole lot easier and will therefore be done a lot. A huge mountain might be scaled by strong men only after many centuries of failed attempts, but a few decades later grandmothers will be strolling up it for tea and then wandering back afterward to see where they left their glasses. Masquerade by Terry Pratchett. This has appeared to happen with kickers in the NFL recently. TIL, in 2018, Samsung had a historic fat finger error where it accidentally gave every employee $9 million worth of shares in the company. The total amount distributed was $100 billion, more than 30x their market cap. Within 37 minutes, 16 employees sold and the stock tanked 11%. We once billed a customer £99,999.99 for a £9.99 mobile phone in 1999 and it went through. Common practice today is that insiders will have to get approval before being able to sell. TIL, an autistic single dad of an autistic son, quit his job to run a Minecraft server only autistic people could join, so they have a community to socially interact with others without being bullied. Was on this server as a kid. It was fun when I logged on out of curiosity for the first time in 5 years to get an immediate welcome back from everyone and to find out my builds were still there all that time later. Smiley face. Wait, there are Minecraft servers with non-autistic people. TIL, the second heaviest person in recorded history, 1,340 pounds, was ordered by his government to undergo weight loss treatment. He lost over 700 pounds in just 6 months, and currently weighs 150 pounds. Khalid bin Mohsen Shahri was born in Saudi Arabia on February 28, 1991. He was 22 when he was declared the fattest man alive, with a BMI of 204. In 2013, Saudi King Abdullah ordered him to come from his home in Jizan to King Fahd Medical City in the country's capital, Riyadh, to lose weight. Can you imagine being so fat that your king makes a royal decree that you have to lose weight? Talk about a flex. Can you imagine losing over 3 pounds a day for 6 months straight? I wish my government would call me a fat piece of shit and hire people to get me in shape too. TIL about Andy George, who makes a chicken sandwich entirely from scratch. He grew his own veggies, traveled via plane to collect ocean water to make salt, milked a cow to make butter and cheese, killed a chicken, and grew wheat for flour. The entire project took 6 months and costs him $1,500. How was the sandwich? I wonder if he built the plane from scratch after mining the materials. If you wish to make an apple pie from scratch, you must first invent the universe. He does a really good YouTube series called How to Make Everything. While some series would grind and grind to make things from scratch, his series tackle the idea that once you've unlocked a certain technological innovation, you don't have to grind it from start and just start from there. Today I learned I'm fucking old because I remember when this was posted on Reddit as a new thing. Till that, until 1999, the disc on the Japanese flag was shifted 1% off-center to the left. The French Navy uses 30 hours 33 minutes and 37 seconds proportions for its tricolor ensign. When flying in a breeze, the fly, right, side appears relatively smaller and the hoist, left, side larger, and the asymmetry is an attempt to correct for this effect. Yes, Kevin. They moved it a full half inch. I'll tell you the full story tonight. Did you know that the W in the Hollywood sign is not symmetrical? So basically, Japan was trolling everyone for decades with a slightly off-center flag. Gotta respect the long game. Till that in England in the Middle Ages, a fugitive could claim sanctuary simply by touching the knocker on the outer door of a church to be immune from arrest. It wasn't unheard of for sympathetic escorts to lead well-liked prisoners through a churchyard on the way to their punishment, to give them the chance to do so. IRC sometimes the church would ship them off so they could live in exile instead of facing their punishment. Although the sanctuary could be a fickle thing. During the Wars of the Roses, after the Battle of Bosworth, several nobles on the Yorkist side sought sanctuary in a nearby monastery. Henry Tudor, soon to be Henry VII, cheerfully ignored church sanctuary and executed the lot of them after a kangaroo trial. Only as long as they stay in the church. If they left for any reasons, all bets were off. Till that Dmitry Mendeleev, who is credited with creating the periodic table of elements, was nominated for a Nobel Prize in Chemistry 9 times but never won. His awarding was blocked each time by the 1903 winner, Svante Arrhenius, who held a grudge against Mendeleev for criticizing one of his papers. Good to know academia hasn't changed. So Mendeleev left a 1-star review, and Arrhenius never forgot. Wait, so the Nobel Prizes aren't about merit? Till, when walking into a bar in England, Jimi Hendrix and his band were told they weren't welcome by a bartender who said, "Sorry, mates, we can't serve your sort in here." Hendrix thought it was because he was black, but it was because they were mistaken for circus clowns. Reminds me of the Australian landlord video with the Asian/agents thing, lol. Carny folk. Smell like cabbage. So apparently this pub has a standing rule against clowns. How would people react if Obama or Biden, even jokingly, declared himself king? I had a coach as a kid that told us if you'd be upset if the other team did that, what you are doing is probably wrong. The same if they made fun of John McCain, even jokingly, for being a POW in Vietnam. My grandma lived in absolute fear that Obama was going to be a dictator, with zero indication or jokes about it. She had a book outlining how he was the Antichrist that she wanted everyone in the family to read. But the irony is that Trump literally stated he wanted to be a dictator and is doing very dictator stuff, and is very in line with Antichrist stuff if we want to get biblical. My grandma sees nothing wrong because she's just as hateful, racist as Trump is, and she wants him to be king. Americans of Reddit, in light of the current political climate between our countries, how do you guys actually feel about us Canadians? I've been visiting Canada frequently since the age of 6. Canadians have always been open and friendly. I now have friends there and am so familiar I consider it a second home. Welland, Thorold, Niagara-on-the-Lake, St. Catharines, Toronto, Crystal Lake Amusement Park when it existed. I love Canada. The people of Canada, or Russia, or China, etc., and the people of the US are friends. We can't let them make us think otherwise. Most Americans think positively about Canadians. This whole 51st state stuff is just so embarrassing. I think most everyone here loves and respects our neighbors to the north. You've not only been great trading partners and allies, but you've given us a lot of great shows. Moreover, anyone who knows anything about history knows we really don't want to fight you. That said, if ya felt like burning down the White House again, maybe the rest of us could just be very busy that day. Till that a 6-year-old girl used Amazon Alexa to order a $160 dollhouse and 4 pounds of cookies. When a San Diego TV station broadcast a news report on the incident, the words "Alexa ordered me a dollhouse" caused Alexa devices around the city to try to order dollhouses. Reminds me of the Xbox One commercial with Aaron Paul where he shows off the voice commands, and Xbox One owners reported that their own consoles were following Aaron's commands. From the 2017 story, during that story segment, a CW6 news presenter remarked, "I love the little girl," saying Alexa ordered me a dollhouse. That, apparently, was enough to set off Alexa-powered Echo boxes around San Diego on their own shopping sprees. The California station admitted plenty of viewers complained that the TV broadcast caused their voice-controlled personal assistants to try to place orders for dollhouses on Amazon. That's why those radio ads that are like "Alexa Siri Google put radio station ____ on our list, hey Alexa Siri Google add ____ to cart" should be illegal and prosecuted against. Till Weird Al turned down a $5 million beer endorsement deal. He thought it was ethically wrong because a lot of his fans were young and impressionable. One of my favorite stories I've heard about Weird Al was the moment he realized he had finally made it. This was in the early 80s. He had been invited to a music industry party and wasn't really sure if he would go or not. He didn't think anyone knew about him or cared. When he got the party, he heard someone yell from across the room, "Holy shit! It's Weird Al. Weird Al is here." He looked over and saw it was actually Paul McCartney who yelled it. Years back VH1 did one of their Behind the Music documentaries on Weird Al. In most of the Behind the Music episodes there is the inevitable point where the musician in question burns out and loses a fortune on drugs or alcohol. Not Al. He was like, "Sorry to be boring, but I'm doing great." If you haven't seen Weird yet and you have even a passing interest in Weird Al, you need to go watch that. Daniel Radcliffe is fantastic. He also does not drink in public because of this. Americans, what is your opinion on Canadians boycotting US goods, services, and tourism? They should. I'm an American. Our government is making threats that should be taken seriously. If anything, Canada should be fully prepared to cut the US off completely. I live in Maine, which benefits greatly from its relationship with Canada, and I say good for them. As an American, I say boycott and use targeted tariffs to put the hurt where you can. I'm with Canada if it's threatened, and it's embarrassing that it happens to be the president, or puppet, of my country that is doing the threatening. Fully support. Honestly, I'm also kind of envious that Canada is showing such strong unity. I wish we would show the same unity against Trump and his mega cultists. Like and subscribe.